Hey friends, join me as I cook by memory at Miss Penny's Favorite Foods. Hi everybody, this is Miss Penny with another one of my favorite foods. I've got a catering event coming up and they want some sugar cookies. So I'm going to make them and show you how that we make them. This is one of my grandmother's recipe. It's an old-fashioned sugar lemon cookie. So we're going to make them now. First of all, we are going to, as most cookie recipes go, dry goes with dry, wet goes in wet, and then you combine. So we're going to do the wet ingredients first. And the wet ingredients are going to be 1 cup of butter, unsalted, and that's 2 sticks. 2 sticks. Oops, get all the butter in there. We need all the butter. Okay. 2 sticks of butter. To that we're going to cream 2 cups of sugar, regular sugar. We're going to do the 2 cups of sugar and blend it with the 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter. When that is blended, we're going to add 2 eggs. Beat them a little bit before you put them in the cookie. So just scramble them a little bit. We're going to add that after this fluffs up, after the butter and sugar fluffs up. We're going to add our eggs. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to add a couple drops of McCormick's yellow food coloring, and of course the McCormick's vanilla. And we're also going to add to this wet the last ingredient, which is 1/4 cup of whole milk. All right, we're going to do that. I'll be back. I'll show you what the next steps are. All right, it's a simple recipe. You're going to love it though. All right, be back in a second. Okay, so all of the wet ingredients are in. It's fluffy. It's fluffy. All right, so we're going to add our dry ingredients. And I did make one mistake. I told you a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm sorry, it's McCormick's lemon extract, not vanilla for this. A teaspoon of lemon extract. And a couple of drops of the McCormick yellow food coloring. So that's what this is. This is the eggs, the 2 beaten eggs. This is the 2 sticks of butter. It's the 2 cups of sugar. It's the 1/4 cup of milk, whole milk. So we're going to add our flour, which is 4.5 cups of flour. 4.5 cups of all-purpose flour. In this all-purpose flour, I have 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I've got 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And 1/8 teaspoon of salt. That's what's in this. And 4.5 cups of flour. So it's going in now. We're going to mix this part by hand because I don't want the dough to get too tough. This particular cookie dough recipe is rollout cookies. So they're not drop cookies. So it's going to create a dough. And with that dough, we're going to have to refrigerate it for 1.5 hours. So we're going to roll it up in cellophane or whatever you have, a freezer bag. roll it up so that it doesn't dry out, put it in the fridge for an hour and a half, 90 minutes. Once it comes out, we're going to roll it. I also have, and I put this in last on purpose, I have a half of a lemon zest and about a tablespoon of lemon juice. No, I think it's a teaspoon of lemon juice. And because I don't want to mess up the chemistry. So I'm not adding any too much extra liquid. So a teaspoon of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice, and a half of a zest of lemon. That's going in right now. That's going in now. All right, and that's it. And we're just going to keep on mixing until we get it mixed up. And that's what we're doing now. Like I said, you can put it on a dough hook and mix it. But to me, it's more trouble than it's worth. I like to feel my dough. I like to get a sense of when it's ready and when it's mixed. I don't want to overmix it. We're not making noodles. We are making cookies. Cookies are delicate. So you do not want to just play with it. Get it mixed up and get it over with. All right. That's how it's going to look. That's how it's going to look. That is how it's going to look. And we're going to, the consistency is heavy. And as you can see, it's dense. It's dense. So that's what you want, because we've got to roll these out, which means that there's going to be a little extra flour in it because we have to roll it out. So therefore, it has to be strong enough to withhold that. All right. So I'm going to take our cookie dough. I'm going to put it in some saran wrap, and I'm going to place it in the oven, in the refrigerator for an hour and a half, and then we'll be back. We'll be back, and we will show you how we roll it out, how long it takes to bake, what it looks like when it comes out, and then we'll taste it. All right. I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, the dough has chilled for an hour and a half, and so we're going to roll it out. I have separated the dough into 3 large cakes so that the other 2 cakes will stay chilled until I'm ready to roll them out. This makes a large amount of cookies. This makes about 10 dozen, which is what I need for this event. So I'm going to show you how we do it now. Here we go. So the first cake of 3. You slightly flour your surface. Slightly flour it. Here's the first one. We're going to roll it out to about 1/8 of an inch in diameter. Let me get out my rolling pin. Dust that off. Okay. So I'm going to put you down so that you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. So we're going to roll it out. like I said, about 1/8 of an inch, which is about what that is. Try to make sure that your dough is even, so that all parts are level, so that you won't have rises in your cookie. And when you remove that, we don't need the flour right now. All right. Get out the cookie sheet. Okay, so your dough is going to be, your cookies are going to be about 2 inches apart. And that's what we're doing now. And we're going to put these on a cookie sheet. I am not going to crowd them because they are going to spread a little. And we're going to put these on here. They're going to bake between 9 to 10 minutes. And when they bake, you're going to take them out when you start 9 to 10 minutes, but you got to keep an eye on them because everybody's oven is different. When they're slightly brown around the edges, go on and take them out. Take them out then. So I am fitting 7 on this cookie sheet. And I probably could fit more, but I need to make sure that I'm giving them enough room. So this is how they look right now. Now I've made up I've colored some sugar. I've taken some sparkly sugar, and I've added a couple drops of McCormick yellow food coloring, just a couple of drops, and then you put it on here and you just kind of let it air dry. So do it like at the beginning of when you're making cookies so that you make sure that it air dries. You don't want to put it in the oven to dry. You want it to air dry because you don't want it to melt. And then you got that. So, I think what I'm going to do is I think I can squeeze a couple more on there because I don't want to tell you that all you have to do is that amount, because you may be able to do more than that. So we're going to do let's see. What do you think? We can do 2, 4, 6. I think we can do 9. We can at least do 9. We can at least do 9. And when you get a cookie and it kind of tears a little bit, like I told you before, dough is very forgiving. Dough is very forgiving. So, then you take a few of your orange or your yellow. Mine's is like orangish yellow. So maybe put 1 drop instead of 2 in there. Anyhow, you put your yellow sparkles because it is a butter sugar cookie. And that's what this is. It's a butter sugar cookie. An old-fashioned butter sugar cookie. Or I guess you would call it, I guess my grandmother called them lemon drop cookies. So I guess I'll call them what my grandmother called them, lemon drop cookies. But they're butter lemon cookies. That's how they look. Let me move that so that you can get a good look. All right. And we're putting it in the oven, 350 for 9 to 10 minutes. I'll let you know exactly when they come out. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, here is the first batch of, whoops. Here is the first batch of cookies. Here are the first batch of cookies. And they're so cute. There they are. There they are. These are the butter lemon sugar cookies. And you're going to love them. They're really easy to make. They're very easy to roll out. They're a lot easier than a lot of the sugar cookies. They're really easy. They're not really sticky. So they roll out really nice. And they crisp up at the bottom. And they're soft in the middle. Here it comes. The edges. And as you can see, they're just slightly brown. Take them out when you see them slightly brown around the edges. Take them out. They're ready. All right. Make these cookies. Butter, lemon, sugar cookies. Make them, or as my grandmother calls them, Orange Delights. Make them. They're a good cookie. They're an old-fashioned sugar cookie with lemon. So make them. You're going to love them. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another recipe. Until then, be blessed. I'm going to make me a cup of coffee and have a couple more. All right. Bye-bye.